I think you are looking more in the way of snow to come here. Some snow too, a possibility over the mountain states. Wet and windy weather will creep its way into the Pacific Northwest, into BC as we go through Friday into Saturday. Notice we're warming up there for LA, temperatures getting up to around 23 Celsius. Should stay largely dry here over the next couple of days. Largely dry too across the islands of the Caribbean. I think for the Leeward Islands you could see some sharp showers, some wet weather there too into Panama, maybe Nicaragua, Costa Rica also seeing a little bit of damp weather over the next couple of days. We come into Europe and here the damp weather is really concentrated across central parts of the Mediterranean. It's been very wet, very windy here recently. That will continue to be the case, but drier and brighter further north.
Welcome back. Here's another look at our top stories on Al Jazeera. At least 6 women have been shot dead at a rally for Alassane Ouattara in Côte d'Ivoire. Witnesses say they were killed by security forces loyal to Ouattara's rival, President Laurent Gbagbo. U.S. President Barack Obama has called for Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi to go now. But while saying all options are on the table, Obama would not commit to enforcing a no-fly zone. Libyan rebel forces are regrouping after airstrikes on Thursday failed to dislodge them from a key oil terminal at Brega. These pictures from nearby AlJazeera show reinforcements arriving and arming themselves. Witnesses say hundreds have been arriving from there across the country's east. And mourners have been paying their respects to the opposition fighters who died in airstrikes on Brega and AlJazeera. Our correspondent Jackie Rowland was there.
The battle for eastern Libya rages on, from the air and on the ground. The rebels' advanced positions are now about 50 kilometres west of the town of Breka. Pro-Gaddafi bombers make sorties overhead. The rebels fight back in any way they can.
The airplane came and we fight them. Then they bombed us with 3 bombs. This is the one. And the other one there, and the third one there.
The bombers missed their target. Local people think they were aiming at an oil facility, crucial to the war effort in the east of the country. The town of Breka remains in rebel hands for now. The fighters are under-equipped and poorly trained, but they are armed with a passionate will to get rid of Muammar Gaddafi. The battle has claimed its first victims, 6 men from the nearby town of AlJazeera. They rallied to the front line to defend the revolution, and they came home in coffins, fallen for the new Libya they wanted to build.
For the people of AlJazeera, these men are martyrs to their revolution. And the more of their comrades who are killed, the more determined they are to defeat Muammar Gaddafi.
And so the fallen of AlJazeera are laid to rest. The formalities of death are brief and simple. The inscription reads, "Here lies the martyr Hassan Umran."
My nephew died for his country. He went to Brega to fight and Gaddafi troops killed him there. Each person must be ready to die for his country.
These families have paid the ultimate price in this bloody revolution. And as they say goodbye to their sons, nephews, brothers, they know that other people will doubtless die before the struggle is over. Jackie Rowland, Al Jazeera, in eastern Libya.
German security officials say a man accused of killing 2 U.S. airmen on Wednesday has confessed to targeting Americans. But they say he does not appear to be a member of any organized group. The 2 men were killed and another 2 wounded when a gunman opened fire on a bus carrying 15 U.S. servicemen at a Frankfurt airport. A 21-year-old suspect, identified as ethnic Albanian man from Kosovo, is being held in a German prison. Prosecutors say they're looking for a motive for the attack. The Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, or OSCE, has condemned Turkey for arresting 6 journalists in connection to an alleged plot to overthrow the government in 2003. The arrests follow a 3-year-old probe into an ultra-nationalist group known as Ergenekon. The OSCE says the Turkish authorities are intimidating and threatening journalists. Julian Assange's lawyers have lodged an appeal against British judges' ruling to extradite the WikiLeaks founder to Sweden to face sex crimes allegations. The appeal process could take some months. No date has been set for the hearing. Assange faces allegations of rape and sexual molestation by 2 Swedish women. He says he had consensual sex with both of them. Rupert Murdoch's media empire looks set to grow after the British government approved News Corporation's $20 billion takeover of the satellite broadcaster B-Sky B. News Corp already owns 39% of the business and 4 newspapers in the UK. Other media organizations say the deal could hamper competition, but the deal remains subject to an industry review. President Barack Obama has acknowledged that more has to be done to stop the flow of guns and money from the U.S. into Mexico. Obama made his comments after meeting Mexican President Felipe Calderón in Washington. Tensions have increased recently after a U.S. immigration agent was shot dead in northern Mexico. It's been revealed he was killed by a weapon smuggled from the U.S. Kimberly Halkett has more.
You can count on us.
It was a warm welcome for Mexican President Calderón at the White House, but behind the public smiles and handshakes, a strained relationship between the 2 countries remains. The reason, the escalating violence in Mexico's drug war. Calderón criticized the United States for not doing enough to help his country fight organized crime groups responsible for the violence. He blames the U.S. for turning a blind eye to weapons seeping south across its border and not doing enough to stop U.S. demand for illegal drugs.
Thousands of military officers and police have fallen in the line of duty in Mexico. To these deaths, we add the death of Jaime Zapata.
Jaime Zapata is the U.S. immigration agent killed reportedly with a gun purchased in the United States. The White House wants the alleged killer tried in the U.S. Appearing on Capitol Hill, the Homeland Security Secretary reassured lawmakers that would be the case.
Is it the administration's position that we will be seeking extradition into the United States? That's very good news.
Mexico wants assurances the U.S. would not seek the death penalty if the suspect is convicted. But the White House acknowledges it shares responsibility for the wider drug problem.
I reiterated that the United States accepts our shared responsibility for the drug violence.
The U.S. acknowledgement of its role in the cross-border drug problem is being viewed as a step forward.
The question is, are they doing enough to reduce consumption? Are they doing enough to stop the trafficking of weapons?
The U.S. is giving Mexico more than $1 billion a year to help them fight the drug cartels. Washington hopes this will help turn down the temperature in its often heated relationship with an ambivalent neighbor. Kimberly Halkett, AlJazeera, Washington.
And as pressure mounts on Italian Prime Minister Silvio